Welcome to the Chevrolet Super Bowl postgame show on Fox.
The franchise was born in 1921 tonight. The Green Bay Packers celebrate their NFL record 13th NFL championship in 80 years. It's their 4th Super Bowl title, the last coming back 14 seasons ago when they beat New England in Super Bowl 31. And many joyous faces along that Packers sideline. We will get you to the trophy presentation in just a bit. But right now, we welcome you to the Chevrolet postgame show. Here in the end zone at Super Bowl 45, Kurt Menefee along with Howie Long, Michael Strahan, and Jimmy Johnson. And guys, we anticipated this, Jimmy, being a thrilling contest. The matchup looked great on paper. It lived up to it.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers was really sharp. He was outstanding. I think the spread set really kept the Pittsburgh defense off balance. Rodgers had over 300 yards passing, and that's with 4 or 5 key drops by the receivers. So he had an outstanding day. Starks ends up rushing for over 50 yards for some crucial first downs. The big thing was Aaron Rodgers, though. He was very accurate. He was in rhythm the entire night.
Well, the impressive thing to me, beginning of the first quarter, the beginning of the third quarter, you could tell Green Bay nerves were getting the best of them. They're dropping balls, not doing a little thing, Jimmy, that they've done in the past. And for those guys to hang in there and watch Pittsburgh march down the field and be in a situation at the end of that game where they know Pittsburgh usually comes out on top, and to hold on, that was impressive.
A lot was made of the perceived experience factor for the Pittsburgh Steelers, having 25 players, having played in Super Bowls and won. I think you could make the case that given all that Green Bay's been through over the last couple of years as a team, and Aaron Rodgers in particular, regarding the scrutiny and the media focus with the Brett Favre departure and the transition to Aaron Rodgers, this team was as battle-tested a non-Super Bowl team as you could imagine.
And they came through every single test that they were giving, not only Rodgers, but McCarthy and Ted Thompson as well. For more comments on today's game, let's get it up to the guys who called it for us. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Guys?
All right, Kurt, guys, thank you. Well, I guess we'll put our little wrap-up on it. This game was everything I think anybody could have hoped for, and maybe even more coming down to the last possession for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, not a lot of surprises, was there? I mean, we thought coming in that it would be this type of game coming down to the very end. It was certainly that way. The guys laid it out very well for us. You know, Aaron Rodgers was sensational. He's been playing sensational all season long. And I just think that when you look at all the injuries in this ball game, for the Packers to overcome them like they did all season long, it's pretty fitting, and it's well-deserved by Mike McCarthy and that staff.
What a march it's been. Titletown has another. Go back down to the field. Kurt, all yours.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Well, the Chevrolet postgame show rolls on with the point that everyone loves to see. It's the trophy presentation, the Vince Lombardi Trophy, returning home. Our own Terry Bradshaw down on the field for that. Let's send it up to the public address announcer, Alan Roach.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome legendary Hall of Fame quarterback from the Dallas Cowboys and the MVP of Super Bowl, Roger Staubach, and the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
No, you gotta give it up. I'm supposed to give it to you, Ron. Then I get out of here. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what a great Super Bowl 45 we just witnessed. All you Green Bay Packer fans, congratulations now to present the Vince Lombardi Award, symbolic of the world champions of Super Bowl 45. The great Roger Staubach will present that beautiful trophy to the Commissioner, Roger Goodell. Commissioner? Goodell. Yes, sir. It's all yours, sir.
Thank you. What a great football game with two classic teams. Thank you, fans, for a great season. It was definitely a season to remember. And now the smallest city in the country has won the biggest game. To Mark, Ted Thompson, and Coach McCarthy, what a great championship. We congratulate you and your fans. Vince Lombardi is coming home to Green Bay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mark Murphy. Yeah. 13 world titles, 4 Super Bowls now, taking it back to Titletown. What do you got to say to all those fans back in Green Bay waiting on you?
We have the best fans in the league, and we couldn't have done it without you. The Vince Lombardi Trophy's coming back to Green Bay.
General Manager Ted Thompson. How you doing, sir?
I'm great. I'm just so very, very proud of these guys on this team. They've stood up when everybody thought they were down. They never quit trying. They never quit believing. And this is a tough business, but I'm very, very proud of this team.
Congratulations. Mike McCarthy, coach, step in here. All right. This team, all year long, you have had injuries, starters out, and tonight again, 3 more players go out, but your football team has such great resolve. Mike, what do you see the turnaround in this football game tonight for the Packers?
Well, you've already said it was the great resolve of our football team. We had some practice of guys going down and other players stepping up. It was a very emotional halftime for our football team. We had some bumps in the third quarter, but just a tremendous effort, and Coach Lombardi's trophy's finally going back home.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Terry.
Aaron Rodgers, step up over here. Aaron Rodgers, our MVP. Aaron, come here, big guy. You have played flawlessly throughout the playoffs. 9 touchdown passes in the playoffs. You get here, 3 touchdown passes tonight. This was a game of up, down, up, and back, and finally that last drive, that 33-yarder to Jennings was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that was a big one, but wish we could have, finished it out there. Got to give credit to our defense. This is a great group of men that we put together here. A lot of character, been through a lot together. It's just great to be able to share it with them.
Well, it started off with Bart Starr, and then, of course, it went to Brett Favre, and now you, Aaron. Congratulations. Now, before you leave here, I got something for you. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out in the spring will be a new Camaro convertible. You see it over to the right, that beautiful red car? That's 426 horsepower over there. You won that baby. That's yours, Aaron. Take this trophy and walk around this stadium and show it to all those Packer fans. Congratulations, Green Bay Packers world champions, Super Bowl 45. Back to you, Kurt.
All right, TB, thank you very much. Hey, Bart Starr and the Packer faithful celebrating. Aaron Rodgers pulling out that championship belt. He's been putting it around his waist, imaginary style, all season long, but now he's got the real thing because he and the Packers are the real champions of the National Football League. So much more to celebrate as we continue here on the Chevrolet Postgame Show. The Green Bay Packers are world champions.
Fans, your team just won Super Bowl 45, and now, direct from NFLShop.com, you can own the Packers Super Bowl 45 trophy collection, which includes the tee, hat, and towel, and you can own the DVD. You can buy them individually or buy the bundle for only $89.99. It's the official Super Bowl product worn by players and coaches during the post-game celebration. Call 866-NFL-5959 or visit NFLShop.com now.
The Chevrolet Super Bowl postgame show on Fox is sponsored by the all-new Chevrolet Camaro convertible, arriving spring 2011.
Fox, tonight the biggest thrills are yet to come with an all-new Glee event. Never has a Glee episode been so super or so thrilling. Don't miss the return of TV's best comedy, all new, coming up next, right here on Fox. Well, the celebration continues here at Cowboy Stadium. Tonight's celebration cable cam, sponsored by Budweiser. And the celebration just beginning for the Green Bay Packers. They win their 4th Super Bowl championship. On the other side, for the second time in their 8 Super Bowl appearances, the Pittsburgh Steelers come up on the losing end. Their head coach, Mike Tomlin, was gracious enough to speak with our Chris Myers after the loss.
Thanks very much. Inside the Steeler locker room with Coach Mike Tomlin. Once again, the NFL treated to a spectacular Super Bowl from the Steelers, Coach. How will you categorize this game when you look back on it?
A loss. We don't grade on the curve. We're not interested in moral victories and things of that nature. We didn't play well enough to win, and Green Bay does, and we tip our hat to them because of that.
Was it about the turnovers, dug the hole? Was that, could we size it up that simply?
If you're trying to wrap a bow around it in 10 words or less, sure. But there are a lot of areas that could have swung the balance the other way, and we look at every single play in all 3 phases when we evaluate our performances.
Well, we thank you. And a touching scene outside the locker room. You stood and waited for every player to come back in here and personally thank him for the season.
That's standard business. We do that after every game.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the offseason. Back to you.
All right, once again, we thank Mike Tomlin for being so gracious. And Michael Strahan, you as a player won a Super Bowl, but you also lost one. Talk about the difference between the emotions.
Well, very emotional. I mean, they don't let you get off the field, man. They drop that confetti on your head, and you're going, oh, it's not for me. So, no, it's not, and it's upsetting. But one thing I love about Mike Tomlin, Jimmy, he just said, hey, no moral victories. We lost the game. We had our opportunity. No excuses. And that's how you were as a coach as well.
Yeah, the Steelers just the 3 turnovers, lost field position and points for them. But they moved the football. They ran for 126 yards. So they had enough offense. They just had too many mistakes to win this ball game.
Yeah, coming into the night, teams that had an interception return for a touchdown against them in Super Bowl history were 0-10. That goes to 0-11. Valiant effort, just couldn't overcome those first 2 half interceptions.
And they really couldn't stop the quarterback play of the Green Bay Packers. Right now, Aaron Rodgers is as good as anybody in the league. And the Packers celebrate winning another Super Bowl. The last time they won the Super Bowl was back in 1997. Super Bowl 31, they beat the New England Patriots. Brett Favre won his only Super Bowl that year. Now, it's Aaron Rodgers' turn. I don't think he'll ever have to answer another Brett Favre question. Not only has he tied Favre with his first Super Bowl victory, but he did something Favre never did, was named Games MVP.
Packers fans, your team just won Super Bowl 45. And now, direct from NFLShop.com, you can own the Packers Super Bowl 45 trophy collection, which includes the tee, hat, and towel. And you can own the DVD. You can buy them individually or buy the bundle for only $89.99. It's the official Super Bowl product worn by players and coaches during the post-game celebration. Call 866-NFL-5959 or visit NFLShop.com now.
The Chevrolet Super Bowl postgame show on Fox is sponsored by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network.
And welcome back to the Chevrolet Super Bowl postgame show. Time now, though, the AT&T Rapid Game Recap as we check out the play of the game, and it really came down to one play. Down by 6 points, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers go for it on 4th down. They don't make it. The Green Bay Packers begin to celebrate their 4th Super Bowl title. There you have it, the AT&T Rapid Game Recap of Super Bowl 45. The nation's fastest mobile broadband is getting faster with 4G. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, we are rejoined by Terry Bradshaw, and right now I want to get your final thoughts here as we wrap up Super Bowl 45 coverage, beginning with you, Jimmy.
Well, this league's made up of stars, and a knock on Aaron Rodgers, he hasn't had success in the postseason. Not only did he have success, he set a Green Bay franchise record for touchdown passes in postseason with 9. He is a star, and he's a star that we're going to love watching for years to come.
And the Green Bay Packers rushed for 50 yards, which is the second lowest total ever in a Super Bowl, only to the Rams in Super Bowl 34. So I love the fact that they knew what they were good at. They knew what got them there. Mike McCarthy stuck to it, and Aaron Rodgers came through. And it just I know this feeling. We all know this feeling, and it's just the best feeling in the world as a professional athlete, and I love it when TB sparkles.
And I think Lombardi, the play, just got an extension on Broadway. This is the second youngest team in football. Super Bowl quarterback, MVP, all the good things. Talked about how they'll handle this, but there's no reason not to think that Green Bay will have a shot at getting back here again. We might be seeing the start of a young dynasty.
You could. And I would remind all our viewers, let's go back to the Detroit game where they looked horrible and got beat, only to turn all of that around and get on this incredible run. And how many times? It almost never fails, does it not, Kurt? Every year we should pay attention to the team that gets on a run, especially if they have a good quarterback who turned into a great one, and that's what we had.
And another thing about Green Bay, Ryan Grant, your Michael Finley, all those guys are out. When they get those guys back next year, they could be.
Charles Woodson, congratulations.
Second youngest team in the league, and they were a dominant team down the stretch. All right, once again, a reminder to get an insider's perspective and keep up with all of this year's playoff action. Check out the Inside Look, presented by AT&T at foxsports.com/AT&T. We'll be back to wrap things up from Cowboy Stadium as the Packers continue their celebration.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet Super Bowl postgame show on Fox.
In 2 weeks, the world's best drivers will compete in racing's biggest event like you've never seen it raced before at the newly paved Daytona International Speedway, where they can now go 3 wide. It's sure to be the most competitive and exciting Daytona 500 in recent history. The NASCAR On Fox season begins with a Great American Race Sunday, February 20th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox. And welcome back to the Chevrolet postgame show. So, right now, the Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl. They are Super Bowl champions with that great run down the stretch. They have captured their 4th championship in Super Bowl 45. We hope to see you again next September. We really hope to see you next September. We also wish NBC and CBS luck for the next 2 Super Bowls. Our next Super Bowl is in 2014, and with the game being played in New York, one of the biggest football fans we know is already there getting ready.
Hey guys, Tom Arnold here for the new Middle-End Stadium, home of Super Bowl 48 in the year 2014. That's about 1,100 days from now, and they made me a sweet deal. I clean this baby up, and I get a free ticket and 2 hot dogs. I'm the luckiest guy in the world!
Keep on working, Tom. We'll see you in 2014. Great job today. Great season, guys. Thank you so much.
We
appreciate it. All right, we are done here from Cowboy Stadium, but keep it tuned because Glee is next.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. The NFL is online at www.nfl.com.